SpaceX, the brainchild of Elon Musk, has had its fair share of ups and downs. But nothing quite prepared the world for the spectacle that unfolded on January 16, 2025. Just minutes after launching from their starbase in Texas, the Starship, SpaceX's ambitious spacecraft, went up in a ball of fire. It happened over the Bahamas, scattering debris across the Turks and Caicos Islands. This wasn't just another test flight gone wrong, it was a stark reminder that space travel, for all its advancements, is still a risky business. This wasn't the first time a Starship prototype had a rendezvous with disaster. In fact, the first 3 test flights all ended in explosions of varying degrees of drama. SpaceX, true to form, took these setbacks in stride, viewing them as learning experiences on the path to perfecting their technology. They even managed to pull off successful landings in subsequent tests, giving hope that the Starship might actually live up to its promise. This latest explosion, however, has cast a long shadow over those aspirations. The mission itself was supposed to be another step towards proving the Starship's capabilities. It was an uncrewed test flight, the 7th one to be precise, designed to gather crucial data about the spacecraft's performance in various conditions. Everything seemed to be going according to plan during the initial stages of the launch. The booster successfully separated and made its way back to Earth, landing upright as intended. The Starship, however, had other plans. About 10 minutes into the flight, disaster struck. The Starship experienced a sudden and catastrophic failure, erupting into a fireball that lit up the sky. Debris rained down over the Turks and Caicos Islands, thankfully uninhabited, causing some minor damage but no reported injuries. The explosion sent shockwaves through the space community and beyond, raising questions about the safety and viability of SpaceX's ambitious project. The million-dollar question, or perhaps billion-dollar question in this case, is what caused the Starship to explode in such a dramatic fashion. SpaceX, in their initial statements, have been tight-lipped about the specifics, simply stating that they are investigating the incident thoroughly. However, preliminary reports from sources close to the investigation suggest a possible fuel leak as the culprit. It appears that the leak may have originated in the cavity above the ship's engine firewall, a critical component responsible for protecting the spacecraft from the intense heat generated by the Raptor engines. A breach in this area could have allowed highly flammable fuel to come into contact with hot engine components, triggering a massive explosion. This theory, while plausible, is yet to be confirmed by SpaceX or independent investigators. Adding fuel to the fire, so to speak, are reports of sonic booms heard in the vicinity of the explosion. Seismic data from the region seems to corroborate these reports, indicating a sudden and powerful release of energy consistent with a high-altitude explosion. While sonic booms themselves are not necessarily indicative of a catastrophic failure, their presence in this case adds another layer of complexity to the investigation. Technical experts, while cautious in their pronouncements, have pointed to a few potential contributing factors. One line of thought focuses on the rapid pace of development at SpaceX. The company, known for its move fast and break things ethos, has been pushing the boundaries of spaceflight technology at an unprecedented rate. This aggressive approach, while yielding impressive results, could also lead to oversights and potentially compromise safety margins. Another theory revolves around the inherent complexity of the Starship's design. The spacecraft, designed to be fully reusable and capable of carrying both crew and cargo to destinations like Mars, is a marvel of engineering. However, this complexity also introduces a multitude of potential failure points, any one of which could have disastrous consequences. The aftermath of the Starship explosion has been felt far and wide, with repercussions extending beyond the immediate vicinity of the incident. The Federal Aviation Administration, the regulatory body overseeing commercial space launches in the United States, wasted no time in grounding all Starship flights pending a thorough investigation. This decision, while expected, deals a significant blow to SpaceX's ambitious launch schedule. Elon Musk, the ever-optimistic CEO of SpaceX, had initially hoped to conduct as many as 25 Starship launches in 2025. This latest setback throws those plans into disarray, with the next launch now shrouded in uncertainty. The grounding of the Starship has also sent ripples through the space tourism industry, which was eagerly anticipating the spacecraft's entry into service. SpaceX had been promoting the Starship as the vehicle that would make space travel accessible to the masses, with plans to offer orbital and even lunar voyages in the near future. These plans are now on hold indefinitely, leaving many aspiring space tourists grounded and disappointed. Closer to the site of the explosion, the Turks and Caicos Islands are grappling with the immediate aftermath of the incident. While initial reports suggest minimal damage, mostly limited to debris falling on uninhabited areas, the long-term environmental impact of the explosion remains a concern. The explosion, which occurred at a relatively high altitude, released a plume of potentially hazardous materials into the atmosphere. Environmental groups have expressed concerns about the potential impact of these materials on the fragile ecosystem of the Turks and Caicos Islands, a popular tourist destination known for its pristine beaches and coral reefs. The FAA, in conjunction with local authorities, has launched an environmental review to assess the extent of the damage and determine what, if any, remediation efforts are necessary. In the face of adversity, SpaceX has remained characteristically resilient. Elon Musk, never one to shy away from a challenge, took to Twitter, his preferred platform for communication, to address the explosion. While acknowledging the setback, he maintained an optimistic outlook, stating that the company is already hard at work, analyzing the data from the test flight and identifying areas for improvement. "We learn more from our failures than our successes," he tweeted, echoing a sentiment that has become synonymous with SpaceX's corporate culture. True to their word, SpaceX has been cooperating fully with the FAA's investigation, providing access to telemetry data, engineering schematics, and key personnel. The company has also initiated its own internal review, aimed at identifying the root cause of the explosion and implementing corrective actions to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Initial reports from within SpaceX suggest that the company is focusing its efforts on enhancing the Starship's fire suppression systems, improving leak detection protocols, and potentially redesigning certain components to increase their resilience to extreme temperatures and pressures. Despite the setback, SpaceX remains committed to its long-term vision of making humanity a multi-planetary species. The Starship, even in its current, less-than-perfect state, represents a significant leap forward in spaceflight technology. Its ability to be fully reusable, coupled with its impressive payload capacity, makes it a game-changer for missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. SpaceX has reiterated its commitment to these goals, stating that the Starship remains an integral part of their plans to establish a permanent human presence on Mars. The explosion, while undoubtedly a setback, is unlikely to derail SpaceX's ambitious plans entirely. The company has a proven track record of learning from its mistakes and emerging stronger from adversity. If history is any indication, this latest explosion will only serve to fuel SpaceX's determination to push the boundaries of space exploration and make their mark on the cosmos.